When you saw different, now they are two. That is it. It's an exchange of ideas. That is what contest should be about. Not attacking of personalities, not denigrating your opponent. It speaks to your character. It's yedi niti edemobia, yedi ahombrasia, and yedi koyini. And me hope to say, Mamo Henina, Obeshe Dr. Bawumia Subang. Now it should guide you. His humility, his clarity of purpose, his composure, that should guide you. I urge you all to have that spirit. I can't see any area. They say after competition comes what? Cooperation. So we should make sure we don't say things that we cannot take back. When you are down for cryaka, who can be there? So can say ma, moboma, ferry. Say, sansem nefi winu. So let's all be guided by make one day, minim nisubang. Minim se oyeni papa. Minim se na koma ye. Minim se obey jumading edia songa.
Prior to the 2024 elections, we heard all the things Ken said. But
I don't want us to limit this thing
I'm just giving an example.
You know, because
to say that
I think he's speaking generally.
No, I understand.
Yes, I don't want us to limit it to
example to say that even though yes, but it is unacceptable for people to insult and attack each other's personalities and so on in a typical, not even internal politics, but even in whatever type of political contestation. But I'm saying that what we have seen from 1992 is that after the internal fight, quote and unquote, they still come together and
that is what breeds this to be called fashions in political parties. From the outside, it appears yes, they've come together.
They're back together.
But there are fashions then. Lines are drawn.
Okay.
So internally, people are skeptical they're not even able to cross those lines. You want to remain in your line, and forever and ever, if you don't take time, you are seen as a threat. You are seen as not belonging. You are not welcome. You are not accommodated, even though you belong to the same organization outside there.
So it becomes cosmetic.
Yeah. I don't want to call it cosmetic.
When I say cosmetic,
it's the fact that
just for the cameras.
Not the cameras. We have agreed to work together.
We have
agreed, but hey, you are on your own, I'm on my own. But we are working towards a common good fight. I say in politics, we don't need to be a family, we don't need to be brothers, we don't need to be friends. We have a common agenda. The agenda is to set Ghana. The agenda is for Ghana to succeed. And so if building synergy, coming together, will help us to realize that goal, so be it.
Okay.
Right? But the point I'm making is that I am very reluctant to say this, but I don't know, I just have to say it. I think somebody must talk to Madam's, what's her name? Bawumia's wife. Samira.
Why?
You know, I have observed her consistently, right? We have seen wives of politically exposed persons and the way they have conducted themselves in this political space. You know, whichever way, there's always that soft spot for women in our culture, our society. So when they are dealing with women, you are very measured, are very careful the things you say about them. And so, knowing this, they too should reciprocate. That you also don't push a man to a point where now you're also compelled to come back, and then people now start saying that, look at the way he's attacking a woman. You know, I've observed it.
Yeah, but she's not mentioning anybody's
You hold it.
She's giving a general advice that don't insult.
Hold it.
It's about intellect. It's about vision.
What is it suggesting? What is it saying?
She's not mentioning anybody's name.
You don't have to mention a name. When you insinuate, when you respond to people can tell, can infer, you know, when they listen to you. Why do you do deductions? When we listen, we do deduction, we listen. What is he insinuating? Where is he pointing to? And as I said, in time past, you can go on the net, check some of the things he said about President Mahama.
Who?
I mean, Samira, some of the things she said about President Mahama during the campaigns. You know, I think that, as I said...
But JM is an external foe.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Have you ever heard our mother, Linda Mahama, ever say anything about Bawumia or say anything about President Akufo-Addo?
No, that's a choice. If you study...
let me just land.
Okay, you land.
When I finish, you come. Yes. I'm only saying that, you see, because we have said, see, our mother Nana Kudedo Rawlings, go and check her history in the days of the PNDC days, all through to the first era of the NDC, between 1992 and 2000. Her focus was mobilizing women. She was always there with the women, organizing, setting up, do whatever she needs to do, right? That was her focus. She hardly will come at her political opponents, right? She had a clear-cut thing she was doing. Now, President Kufuor's wife, you know, we saw her in the political space.
You call her Mama Tess.
Mama Tess, and the way she carried herself. Nobody ever said anything against her. You see, because, I don't know, and Professor Mills' wife, look at the way she conducted herself throughout. Look at President Mahama's wife. You know, even President Akufo-Addo's wife, look at the way she conducted herself throughout the campaign. I think that somebody must guide and advise Mrs. Bawumia. She is far younger. She has a lot of energy in her. I'm not saying don't do politics, don't be at the forefront of things, but don't give people the opportunity to want to come at you directly. You can avoid it, right? You can avoid it. You can support your husband, you can do the politics, you can do whatever it is. But when you start attacking people directly, you call people names, you say all manner of things, they will come back in the same measure or even more. You know, and like they often will say, when you live in a glass house,
I'm saying that in this case, she's not attacking
when you live in a glass house, you don't throw out stones.
Okay.
Because you may never know the one that will collapse your building on you. I am saying we have listened to her. It is not for nothing that that video is circulating all over the social media. Anybody who listens to it can infer. When you question, it's as if you are even questioning people's intellectual capacity. It's about brain work, it's about people. That is what he was trying to do, right? Is he saying that any of the persons who have expressed interest in contesting MP flag bearership, you know, doesn't have the intellectual capacity to do so? Are we going to measure intellectual capacity based on lectures that we saw in time past at universities and when it matters most, when they are supposed to practicalize those things that are said on platform beautifully, proper worded English language, when we are supposed to transform that English language into real action, people checking out. You know, they will never mention the issue of economy again. They became something and redefined themselves. It's all they are talking about. And so I am saying that she can do better. I admire her, beautiful woman, no qualms about it. And it's not personal at all. But I think that it's becoming one too many, becoming too consistent. And it is not good for her. I'm scared that if it continues, I don't know what may happen. Do you understand?
That's actually Nadu Mills. I believe so.
Yes.
I think that's her, right?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh.
It's aged now.
Wow.
She's aged now.
She should be, I'm sure, in her late 60s.
Oh, I think she'll be in the 70s.
Or early 70s.
Maybe
So.
70s.
I'm not too sure, but you can cross it.
She's changed.
She's
Wow.
aged now.
Wow.
Look at mommy Lodina.
I don't know when this was. Must have been this year or last year.
Oh, I believe it is here, after the election.
I think after the election, she went.
Oh, this year. Okay, I'm told it's this year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. She's not a very sociable person, is she? I think she's more
reserved.
Yeah, very reserved.
Maybe she's very reserved, you know. It's not the public space. She doesn't do.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Like I said, look at Mama Rodina now. The only thing you hear about her foundation is doing this. They are putting up a hospital here. They are donating items here, blah, blah. She doesn't get involved in, the open, she doesn't. She conducts herself very so.
I believe that's Sharaf, isn't it?
That's Sharaf.
The
That's
president's son.
Yeah, that's Sharaf.
And Nadu
the sportsman.
Yeah, the sports guy.
But
Sharaf is doing very well.
Fred was trying to disingenuously create the impression that Samira Bawumia has been out there and her communication is not the best and so on. See, like I said, it's choices. We have had different types of first ladies. Everybody and their traits and their capabilities and what they can do. As a matter of fact, if you think you can speak eloquently or you're a good orator like Samira Bawumia, you go out and talk. In the US, we've had different presidents in the US. How many of them have you ever heard about their wives?
Right.
How many first ladies in the US have you heard? But we heard about Michelle Obama. We were listening to Michelle Obama almost every time because of how she carried herself, because of her communication prowesses and so on. So if you have a second lady like Samira Bawumia, who comes out eloquently, who comes out well presented, presents her issues very articulately, I don't think there is any issue at all. And in fact, I've listened to the conversation she had with the students. I do not see anywhere that she was attacking. I think in general, she responded to general issues.
Right.
She was very, I would say, she was very elaborate in her presentation, except that I took that position because I felt maybe she should have even spoken about the issues at all. She should have.
Should we listen to the thing again? It's just 3 minutes.
No, I think you let me finish. Let me finish. No, when I'm done making my points. When I'm done making my points.
That's fine.
So I believe that the impression being created that she was attacking somebody is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I don't think she was attacking anybody.
I've
listened to it. I don't think she was attacking anybody. What she did was to respond to issues that are generally going on. And I think she's right to say that we should all do a campaign based on what we can do. Fred is talking about the fact that we should speak truth to power. So are you trying to tell me that what she said wasn't truth to power, that we should speak to issues rather than personal attacks? The summary of everything she said was the fact that we should all speak to issues and not personal attacks, not directing our attacks on individuals. So at the end of the day, the attempt to try to discredit her and go and even discredit Dr. Bawumia. See, today we are in this country where everything that happens in the economy is attributed to Ato forcing. And we keep saying Ato is forcing. We attribute everything to Ato forcing. Where is Jenana? Where is Jenana? Should we say Jenana is not doing anything as vice president? Isn't she the chairman of the economic management team?
Maybe she's
so
not.
How come everything has been
maybe she's not.
Maybe she's been sidelined.
We shouldn't encourage it. Yeah, I can't see her. Obi anko tona me. Nya obit me aye no waka. When you saw a different now they are twitching. That is it. It's an exchange of ideas. That is what contest should be about. Not attacking of personality, not denigrating your opponent. It speaks to your character. Into yet, niti edimopia, yet ahobrasia, and yet koyini, and me hope so say one more henina, obeshe Dr. Bawumia Suban. Now it should guide you. His humility, his clarity of purpose, his composure, that should guide you. Moso mo kono, mo kwa canvassing. I urge you all to have that spirit. Yen you be atem. Yen say you be. Oh yeah, Inti Brody Becker said, you are being deliberate. You are being thoughtful. You are being considerate. And somebody with that quality is not a pushover. It's not a holdover. Only that if I call on a hunchu, intino, assemble onfa akomashie, and I say it before and ye be people. Beninche said, oh ha, and I said, will be a bit to me is sino. So that is what we should know. He's a very strong person, but he's intellectual. And to be pure, but I'm not pure, but to be ano. So dream we osusumo, and so we to sana. That is who he is. He won't change his personality.
Sure.
He's a humble person. Or Brennan wants it. And then she said, obi betumi esisi no na ahobrɛseɛ ɛna ɔwɔ. So people want to define him as something. Sebi, leadership is about vision. Ghana, how we are practicing a democracy. Ye opinion. Sebi, we the president and Obana Oko. And yet Obana Oko. We the president, yet be a wide drink here. Obi to me, I didn't share pa. At your brain, my dachi, I need your simplicity. That is what we need in our leader. Obiso, Nipo Brennan once no, Ono obe to me, about nice so, I bet you a foot. Onona also ode asem to Nenima, Obetina so. And that is the qualities we need. And Dr. Bawumia is that. He's humble, he's caring, he cares about the marginalized in society. That is who he is. It doesn't mean he's not a strong person, but his strength is in his thoughts. His strength is in his resolve. His strength is in his leadership. His strength is in his vision and his hard work. I've never seen anybody who works as hard as him. He works Monday to Sunday, from morning till evening. He loves this party. So let's not allow people. Now, since when is it a problem that Odriansa Wakasa? Odriansa Wituanamon? Is it a bad trait to have? And that is who Bawumia is. He cares about what he does. Dr. Bawumia, when he finished his PhD, he was working abroad. And Okra said, he has to come and help this country. He has to come and be of service to his country. At the time he came to Bank of Ghana, Omo interviewed him and said, now why are you leaving your lucrative job? He was a lecturer at the University in Texas. So why are you leaving your lucrative job to come to Ghana for this small salary or seniorship? So to discourage him, no, Omo koye research B. Our research departments, lower level, also Obeji, because he wants to come and serve his country. And he worked hard, headed the department, headed the monetary policy department, which was new that he started, was the special assistant to the governor of the Bank of Ghana. Special assistant to our governor, the Woho.